Wednesday edition of the Box Seat. I'm Adam McGrath and joined by Mark Olmos. Mark, 10 races to take a look at and a listed one on the Wednesday as well due to all the rain we had on Saturday.
Absolutely, those 3 races get moved over to Wednesday, and it's not very often we get a listed race on a Wednesday, so I'm excited for that.
No, we certainly don't. Haven't seen rain like that in a long time, but let's take a look at the conditions that we are going to be faced with. Possibly still faced with a soft track, but keep an eye on that. The Melbourne Rail is out 15 metres with a cutaway to 12 and should be racing with good conditions in Perth as well, so looking forward to it. Let's get straight into race number 1. It is an event for the 2-year-olds and it's over the 1,000 metres, Mark.
Yeah, and there's one particular filly in this race, Sweet Aura, the last start winner.
In the straight, 350 to go. Carnelian over on the outside, about 3/4 clear from the helmet. Youngster head clashes, sticks on. Acquaintance, here comes Sweet Aura winding up for Pike. 150 left to go, and Sweet Aura dashes up to join Carnelian. Head clash, no dust on me. Further back, Magnoscope, then Jazari, but the favourite draws clear, Sweet Aura.
She has a bit of class about her, this filly. We knew that last campaign the money came for her before she finished 5th on that occasion. It was a good run, just got too far back and couldn't quite catch them, but this run was able to position up nicely, and then her turn of foot was too good. She overpowered Carnelian on that occasion, who had broke away a little bit out in front. Although going up in weight, I still think Sweet Aura with the Durant stable, William Pike on board and Barrier 1, then there'll be enough speed in this race that she can sit there and overtake them later with her power.
Absolutely, she does look the one to beat there, especially from the inside barrier. And Adam Durant doesn't get many 2-year-olds, but when he does, he obviously sends them to the races. Coming out of that race was number 3, Acquaintance as well. I loved this Gelding by War Chance run. It was 3 wide the trip and still battled onto the line really nicely. And Neville Parnham had a 2-year-old winner on Saturday. He could have another one here at nice odds.
Yeah, look, with the claims of Jake Casey, I think it shows that maybe not completely confident of the ability of this horse, but when you go through the formulas, even that run behind Speedy Ladidi was quite good before as well. As you mentioned, had no chance from barrier 10 and wide throughout. Now comes into barrier 3, runs with 55.5 with that claim, so I think can certainly be a winning chance in this race, but I find it very hard to take on the filly here, so I'm going with number 1, Sweet Aura, from 7, Carnelian, 5, Scandal Maker and 2, Parading.
I took on the favourite on Saturday with Jazari, got up. I'm going to go with the 3, Acquaintance here, ahead of the 1, Sweet Aura, 7, Carnelian and 2, Parading.
Race number 2 at Belmont Park. It's another race over the 1,000 metres, and there looks to be plenty of speed in this race, Mark.
Yeah, Adam, a nice little race is this, but we'll go straight into the replay of last start runner-up, number 5, Extreme Dreams.
In the straight, Puck Shapeshifter races to Wings of Hope. An inside run for Theorise. Tucky's led right back to the inside, and Patrimonio's putting in down the centre of the track, and also Extreme Dreams. Tucky's leg got booked. Patrimonio's after Puck Shapeshifter. Extreme Dreams the outside. Patrimonio. Extreme Dreams come together. Patrimonio with the nose in front, and Patrimonio just beat it.
I had to change my opinion of this galloper a little bit. Last campaign, although winning at Belmont in a midweeker, beating War of Whispers, I just didn't quite think it was up to the standard to be competitive enough here. But that run behind Patrimonio I thought was really good. It's much improved on what we saw first up as well. Now you see the positives of barrier 5 with the 57 kilos, William Pike on board, and the speed in this race. I think Extreme Dreams is going to get a really nice run, can sit a bit closer to the leaders this time. I think it'll be too good late in this race.
And as we know, Patrimonio's since come out behind States List and run a nice race in the soft track on Saturday, just gone. Also number 3, RUM'IN. Now, that was a superb trial by 3 votes. 3 votes looked to be ready to go to the races and very fit, but loved RUM'IN running on.
Well, we know that 3 votes every trial it's in, it normally wins by about 5-6 lengths, and that's just how that horse goes. But this gallop has just shown a little bit of talent. Now, you see Steve Wolf and Sean McGrady, you always just have to take note at the moment. Then you add in barrier 3. My only thing for this is the 1,000 metres. I think this is probably going to be the better horse out of this field to progress, but probably wants that 12 to 1,400 metres, which it did win last campaign over the 1,200, and then ran a really nice race behind Blackwood over 1,400. So the 1,000 metres may just be too short, but it certainly is a winning chance for this race, just with that formula, as I mentioned, with the stable and jockey. But I am going to go with the replay horse that we saw of number 5, Extreme Dreams, from 3, RUM'IN, number 9, 2 Silver Trees, and 7, So Fancy.
Yes, I've got 5 on top as well, Adam. Extreme Dreams from number 7, So Fancy, 3, RUM'IN, and 8, Hughes Got It.
Race number 3 at Belmont Park. It's over the 1,400 metres. A big field here as well, but there's plenty that probably need to take that next step.
Yeah, these maiden races are always interesting and tricky affairs, but let's go straight into the replay of last start runner-up, number 4, Knuckle Down.
Top of the home straight, Zayeta inside the 400. Direct Approach is the leader. 2 in front of Long Gone, who's now being popped the question to come at the leader. A length away on the inside is Miss Scaramanga. Down the outside, Gunfire still runs on, and Knuckle Down is making up ground. At the 100 though, Direct Approach clear. Long Gone can't pick it up. Knuckle Down running on well down the outside, but Direct Approach for Bam Bam
I've got a little bit
Forest.
of time for this horse. I've been quite keen on it in its first few runs through the campaign. Only beaten 2 lengths by Sovereign Hall and then 2 by THOR'S as well. Just seems to get too far back and struggle to run on. But last start of 1,300 metres, 12th around the bend, ran into second, 2 lengths behind Direct Approach. Now from barrier 3, hopefully they don't get that far back. And I think in this type of field and the extra 100 metres, Knuckle Down can certainly play a part.
Absolutely, got a bit left behind last start, but ran on really, really gamely. Number 1, Couleur Bazaar from the Stelmach yard. William Pike rides here. Last start behind Made of Remedy. Not a bad run.
Yeah, William Pike's picked up a few rides here for the Stelmach throughout the card. This horse is certainly a painful one and not one you want to be too confident on. 12 career starts, has placed on 6 occasions, has had so many opportunities to win, but hasn't quite got the job done. I'm going to put all my faith in William Pike here and believe that he can turn this gelding's form around by So Secret and get the first win of the career. I think from barrier 8 should be able to get a nice run throughout, and the 1,400 metres will be ideal.
Interesting runner, I thought, number 11, Mixed Messages, accepted in the Oaks as well, but this looks very winnable for it.
Yeah, it's a nice time. It's had the 8 career starts for a second and a third as well, but it's just very inconsistent. The run behind Bow Count, well, this horse wins the race, but then you take a look at some of the other runs, even last start, beaten 6 lengths by Master Remedy and it goes back in the field. Barrier 9, a little bit tricky here, but in a very open race, and you can certainly have in your numbers. I'm going to go with number 1 though, Couleur Bazaar from 4 Knuckle Down, 13 throwing in Lady Valorum and 5 Thor's Touch.
Yeah, 4 on top for me. Knuckle Down from 5 Thor's Touch, 6 BUCKTORIO and number 11 Mixed Messages.
Race number 4 at Belmont Park. It's over the 1,650 metres, and there's a couple of horses here that are showing progression, but just quite haven't been able to get the win in recent times.
And with a few reasonable form lines as well, Adam. One of those is number 4 Imperious, who was beaten a length by Juicing Carrots.
And towards the tail, trying to get a run through the field, Juicing Carrots coming along to the 300. Miss Halloween nursed in front, pricked her ears up. She'd moved 2 clear. Down the outside in this life, Anasaur and Maserati, and Juicing Carrots are still getting a run through the middle of the field. He's come from last, Juicing Carrots, and Imperious gets a late run as well. It's Juicing Carrots though, in front from in this life, Imperious and Juicing.
It's a really good run there by Imperious, but this is what this horse seems to do. You take a look at all its runs, it's beaten that 2 to 3 length margin, normally well back and runs on strongly and just leaves it too late throughout. Bit of a concern that may be the case, maybe just a racing pattern here, but this is the weakest race that Imperious has met in a long time. Those Juicing Carrot form lines are really good. And then you look at the runs before that, being by the Flirt, My Magic Miss, Shintamani. These are Saturday winners and repetitive Saturday winners as well. So I think from barrier 7 with the 1,650 and a pretty weak midweek race as well, I think Imperious gets its chance.
As we see in the Stewards report as well, lost a length at the start and was only beaten by 0.8 lengths. So look, you could make a case that it could have been Juicing Carrots, who will be favoured in the Diana later on in the race. Another interesting runner, number 2, Kabbalistic, comes over from the east, ex-Godolphin runner by reset, 1,650 metres is minimum.
Hasn't won for 406 days, but as you said, those form lines from over east are actually quite good. I'm intrigued to see how the runner goes. I didn't take a lot from the trial. It was beaten 9 lengths by Record. I don't think they were asking much either, but blinkers on first run for mine. It's just to sit and watch, and we'll wait and see how it goes once it gets over that further distance in some of those staying races as well. But I'm going to tip number 4 Imperious here from 7 Maximus Mac, number 10 Gonzo's Girl, and 5 Our Mate Al.
Yeah, I've got the 4 on top, Adam Imperious as well. From 6 Bollywood Blitz, 7 Maximus Max, and number 2 Kabbalistic.
Race number 5 at Belmont Park. It's over the 1,400 metres. In the previous races, we talked about horses trying to get that win. There's a fair bit of good form in this race.
Absolutely. I'm keen on one in particular. We'll have a look at the replay. Number 8, Mambo Kadsi.
Darkmouth Steffens Dom is near the rail. Total Eclipse, Mambo Kadzia stoking up down the middle with Lucky Legacy. Inside the 300, Greco, hands and heels. 2 in front of Corvara, running around. Then Castle Queen, Mambo Kadzi. Didn't like Total Eclipse with 100 left to go. Greco still clear, 2 in front. Mambo Kadzi starting to gun it down with Border Scott coming from nowhere, and Sharkmouth. It's Mambo Kadzi.
Really nice run there by Mambo Kadzi. She's a tough mare, this one. And you take a look at her form lines from last campaign around Dendi, Conjob, King of Woo. Again, Saturday form lines. You now add William Pike on board with the 56.5 kilos from barrier 6. I think she can certainly play a part in this race.
Certainly does look one of the main chances. We've also got in the race number 11, Vaqueros, who's been running really well at big odds. Last 2 starts, second and then third at 50 to 1 and then 20 to 1.
42 career starts for the 5 victories, but this horse, she just put a line through everything it's ever done because it is in career best form right now. Being a half length by Red Paddy and then 1 length by Cuban and Cundy. Again, good form lines around there. Tricky barrier here from barrier 9, but 55 kilos, and Sean McGrady is riding so well. From what we've seen, this has to be one of the leading contenders in the race.
As does number 4, Smooth Flirt, third up here, should go well. Northern Traders run was good, beaten 4 lengths, and last up was just taken back to the inside, and I don't think it helped its chances going to the inferior ground.
No, it certainly didn't, but even those form lines you mentioned, Maxwell Mighty beaten 4 lengths and Social Elite beaten 8 lengths. I know that sounds a long way, but they both performed well on Saturday again. Now you add the 2 kilo claim to Aaron Mitchell, so it gets him with 56.5. Take a look at the distance record, 5 career starts, 2 victories and a third. I think Smooth Flirt will go up at each way odds, and I think it's a worthy bet as well. I'm going to put it on top, number 4 from 11 for Kires, number 8 Mambo Cassie and 1 Flying Raw.
I've got the 11 on top of Kires here, the slight drop in class to help it from 4 Smooth Flirt, 1 Flying Raw and number 12 Penalty Point.